Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Kelsey. For those of you who don't know who I am, welcome to the new channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about pregnancy and the things they don't kind of tell you about with being pregnant. So for one, I'm going to start off with when I found out that I was pregnant. This is my story. If you have a completely different story or journey, comment it down below. Like, I would like to hear y'all's, and maybe there's something like similar, maybe there's something completely different. So I'm gonna start off with mine. So me and my significant other, we were trying for a baby. We were actually trying, it wasn't unexpected. We were trying for a baby, but as you have seen yeah, maybe you haven't seen it yet, because this is probably filmed, I think this is filmed after, but I don't know when the other one's going to be uploaded. But if you watch the other one thoroughly, like, it has told you that I was in and out of the hospital for pain. I was in and out of the hospital for pain, and it was very difficult. So the best way to explain it is that in August, I had my last period, right? Up until August, I had a normal period, but August was a completely different period. Like, I was bloated, I was like different, like I felt different, and like I think I started throwing up, or I was very nauseous and everything, but I was still having pain on my sides. And I was not drinking. I had stopped drinking and everything, so I stopped doing that in August. And I had started my period, I believe, August 22nd, and it was just like weird. Like, I felt like a little bit of blood, but it felt like I was peeing myself. And so I actually had just gotten back into Memphis, Tennessee, which is where I had flown into. And when I went there, they literally ended up like, I had gone to the bathroom and I felt like I was bleeding, right? So when sorry, I'm trying to think as like I'm talking as well. There's just a lot of background noise, and I don't have ADD or anything. I might, but never been diagnosed with it, but I've just been listening. I don't know, I still get nervous even though I'm in like the backyard. Like, I still get nervous. Okay, where was I in my story? Okay, so I had like a small period, and like I started bleeding, and I was in the airport, and so I went to the bathroom, and I was like, I feel different, like I feel weird. And so I went to the bathroom and I was bleeding just a little bit. And like that, whenever you're bleeding and you have been trying for a baby, it's like a huge disappointment. Or seeing that pregnancy test and it's negative, like, it's a huge disappointment and it sucks. And so that was kind of where me and him were. We were just like, dang, like, it's still taking so long, like, I don't understand. Like, it was just complicated. And so that's kind of where we were at in our little journey. But it was so weird. Like, I had no cramps for my period. I had, like, everything was different. And so I had a longer period. My blood was very dark as well, and that lasted up until August 27th, I believe. Well, then in like, I started feeling different like that whole month. I had gone to the emergency room in August, and then I had gone in September, right, for my pain in my stomach. But each time it was negative. Like, it had no positive thing. So in September, me and my significant other, we went to Florida. Well, we stayed with my mom and we ended up staying there, and literally when we were there, it was like insane, because when we stayed there, like, I had scheduled an appointment with a doctor there who was going to end up giving me a test for the gallbladder scan. You can go and check out the other video and kind of hear about that a little bit. That should be uploaded by now, but if it's not, I do apologize. I will get it uploaded as soon as possible. But anyway, so gallbladder scan. I couldn't do the gallbladder scan because when I made my doctor's appointment, I ended up right before, I was 2 days late on my period, and I was like, this is weird, like, I'm gonna take a test. And like, I hadn't really been thinking about taking like my period or taking a test or anything, because it's just been feeling different. Like, I've been feeling weird, throwing up, like anytime I brush my teeth, like literally that's just how it was. I just felt completely different. And so literally the period didn't happen. So I took a test. It came back positive. Let me just say, I took 2 tests, normal. I peed on it. I didn't put it in a cup. I peed on it. I took it at night. It was like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock at night, like in the evening, around that time, because it was around dinner time. It was like right before we were about to have dinner. Well, I ended up finding out, right? So I kept it a secret. Me and him kept it a secret. My sister was the only one that knew, up until like a few days afterwards, after we had found out. We just acted completely different. Like, I mean, not different, but we acted normal, but it was just like, oh my gosh, like, we're pregnant, like, we're finally pregnant. It's so exciting, like, we have accomplished it, like, it's actually happened, like, you know. And so that's kind of where we were at in it. Well, literally, I made my doctor's appointment, and let me just say, making a doctor's appointment for an OB was so hard. They don't tell you that in school. They don't tell you, oh yeah, making a doctor's appointment is going to be so hard or so difficult, like scheduling an appointment. They wanted to schedule an appointment for December, and I had already, like, this was September, right? So they wanted to schedule an appointment all the way a few months later in December for my first ultrasound or doctor's appointment with the baby. I'm like, are you joking? Like, what? Like, no, like, I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. Like, and every single OB doctor wanted to do that. They literally didn't want to tell you, like, oh yeah, let me just try and fit you in. No, like, it was insane. And granted, in Florida, it's probably a little bit different from Tennessee. So we were in Tennessee making these appointments for the OB and everything, and that's when like, they kept telling us, like, oh yeah, well, it's gonna be up until December, or it's gonna be in January. And the longer you wait to make the appointment, the longer it is to wait to get in, right? So they don't tell you that in school. They don't. And so we did that. Finally got into a doctor, which was about 45 minutes away, rather than somewhere close or going all the way out to Pensacola, Florida. We ended up going all the way out into somewhere else. I'm not gonna say where, just because I believe that it would be really easy to find an OB, like my OB, and so I'm not gonna say any personal information just in case. But yeah, so we went about 45 minutes away, and yeah, it was insane. So we literally waited up until my 7-week mark, right? Well, they were like, well, there's a high chance that we won't hear the heartbeat, we won't hear this, we won't do that, blah, 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 blah. Well, I go in for my first appointment, and at this moment, like, I've been throwing up, like, I'm really, really sick, like, I'm not holding anything down, not even water, and, like, the doctor was like, okay, well, if this continue happening, if you're not holding anything down for more than 24 hours, go to the hospital, get fluids, and they will give you, like, medication there. Well, my doctor, didn't end up like giving me any suppositories, and so my medicine that he gave me, I had a dissolvable tablet, which is Zofran, and it didn't work. Like, I still threw it up. It's like my body was rejecting everything. And so then when I was there though for my first appointment, what we did was I took a test there. They had to confirm that I was pregnant. Then what they did was they let me go in, talk to the doctor, tell them what was going on, how I was feeling, blah blah blah, like, congratulations, you're expecting, and all that different stuff. Well, after that they did an ultrasound to confirm, but it was the one that goes inside, not the one on the outside. I don't know the correct terms for it, so maybe you guys might know what I'm talking about, but they have to do the ultrasound from inside. So they did that. It was very awkward, so just gonna be honest with you, they don't tell you that. It's very awkward. It's kind of like when they do the female exam. It's very awkward. You don't want to be there. You're just sitting there like, oh my god, like, come on, just hurry up, you know. But they ended up confirming at 7 weeks that I was pregnant. They did hear the heartbeat, which a lot of people, for some reason, a lot of OBs, from what I've seen on YouTube, is that they have not been able to hear the heartbeat. And so for me, it was just kind of confusing. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was an amazing moment. I wish I would have documented that part, but I think I just recorded it on my phone, like audio. Yeah. And so that happened. And then after my first appointment, they don't let you see the baby on an ultrasound up until like I want to say like 15 weeks, up until, because they want to do the anatomy scan between 15 to 20 weeks. They want to do the anatomy scan, which will tell you like the gender of the baby. I was 17 weeks when they did it, so I had to wait for another ultrasound. So I was going in every 4 weeks for just to confirm that the baby's doing okay, that I'm doing okay. And they did a Doppler test for the heartbeat. And if you know a Doppler test, it is very easy. It just goes on, it's like just hearing the heartbeat. It's not seeing anything. They just do it over your stomach, and it's so hard to find the baby. For me, the baby kept moving, and so they weren't able to like actually find the baby at one point, and it scared, like, my heart dropped on one of the appointments, that like I literally was so anxious, and I was overthinking that something happened to the baby, that like literally they couldn't find a heartbeat, and it scared me. Like, my heart dropped. And like, so what I did was, because I was so scared, I ended up going to the emergency room, and they confirmed that the baby was okay, but the reason why was that the baby's butt was where like in that area, and so it was like turned around or something. I don't really know how to explain it, but they showed me where the baby was, and literally when they did the ultrasound for that, they were able to do it on top of my stomach, thankfully, but they did that and the baby's butt was facing the camera, and it was so funny. And the ultrasound tech at the emergency room is not supposed to show you the like screen. All they're supposed to do is confirm that the baby was okay. But for me, for my relief, the ultrasound tech actually allowed me to see the baby, and it was so amazing because I was able to hear the heartbeat, I was able to see the baby, I was able to kind of like see where I was in the progress of the baby. And I'm not saying to go to the emergency room to do that. I'm just saying that that's, for me, for my relief, for my anxiety, I needed to go so that I wasn't so worried and stressing the baby out. And so that's where I was. The doctors ended up giving, like, at my appointments, they gave me different medication. each time, just because I was not holding anything down. Like, I was able to hold down ice water, and that's good because OB said that's all you need is like, I make sure that you're drinking a lot of like a lot of water, because that baby is going to consume a lot of it from you, and that's going to help the baby grow. Well, for me, it was like I can't even hold it down. And so the medication, I was on promethazine, I was on metoclopramide or something like that, and both did not work. So one of them, I believe it was the promethazine one, that one made me feel terrible. Like, it put me out to sleep. Like, I'm telling you, it literally was like I got hit by a train and I could not get up. Like, I felt completely winded, out of breath. I couldn't go to the kitchen or to the bathroom or do anything. Like, I had to literally have someone do it for me. Like, they had to bring me stuff. And thankfully, I had family around, so they were able to do that. And then the other medication only lasted me 2 hours, and then I was throwing everything up again. And it was a terrible experience, very terrible. And so I ended up not holding things down, and so I ended up going to the emergency room. They gave me Zofran. They gave me a suppository, which the suppository is not to poop. It's to actually to be able to hold stuff down, but it goes through the other end rather than going through the mouth, and like, you know what I'm saying. So if you are one of those people who are always throwing up and during your pregnancy, I recommend doing the suppositories if your doctor does not prescribe you those, and they prescribe you a pill form that goes through your mouth, the oral. So make sure that you can communicate that with your doctor. That's what I would do. I didn't know anything. I was going in this completely blindsided. This is my first baby. I had no idea. And so I literally I was clueless. So I ended up going into the emergency room, and they gave me Zofran, and they prescribed my medication suppository wise. So thankfully my insurance pays for that. Now that's a whole completely different topic. Finding an insurance company to help pay for $200 worth of medication. Each medication that I have, the Zofran, I'm going to give you a honest price. It's about $100 to $300 for just a pill. It has 30 pills in it, and they're dissolvable on the tongue. Well, let me just tell you, I have been bouncing from medication, right? So thankfully my insurance pays for it completely up until the baby is like born. Then they're gonna look at where I'm at financially, looking at everything, and then yeah, anyways, so that's a completely different topic. And if you guys need help on that, I recommend finding the nearest like health department or Healthy Start or women's clinic, or like there's like support groups online that you can look into, and looking into those will really help, just because those helped me figure out what I needed to do, where I need to go. And so that's just my honest opinion. So yeah, I don't know, it was just so far my journey has been very difficult, just because I was not holding anything down. I just now started holding things down, probably at 16 weeks. I started holding my medication down, and the Zofran was working. I was gaining weight because like I was able to eat things when I took the Zofran, but I would have to wait about an hour for the Zofran to kick into my system, and so I would just kind of chill out and hang out. And then that turned into like I needed to work, right? Well, how am I supposed to work if I'm sick? And they don't explain that to you. And if you don't have people who are behind you and helping you out, it's so hard, because mentally you feel like you're not able to do anything, and then physically like your body is like rejecting everything that you can possibly do, and it makes it so hard to just, you know, be okay. And so for me, that's where I was at. And so each appointment that I went to, like, it was very difficult, and I wanted to make sure that I was okay mentally and financially and stability wise. You will never be 100% prepared for a child, never. And that has what everyone has always told me, is that you learn as you grow. And that's one thing that I have been learning, is it has been crazy, and I'm definitely learning as I go. So yeah, I don't know if my journey is very, you know, specific for y'all, if that's very helpful for y'all or what, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's my update on my pregnancy. That's my journey so far, and I'm gonna continue probably doing this. So this will be like probably part 1, and then I'll probably do a part 2 when like I hit, I don't know, 25 weeks or 26 weeks or something, or like when I get into my 3rd trimester around 30 weeks. And in all honesty, I do journal. I journal every week about things that have been happening that week, or how I've been feeling that week, or like writing little notes to myself, because when I am out of my pregnancy, I can look back on it and be like, wow, Kelsey, you did it. Like, you have accomplished something that a lot of women want to, and they want to be able to experience the same thing. Obviously everyone's different, so things are different, you know, but it is so like beautiful. It's so amazing that I am finally able to just experience it, even though it's been so rocky. I'm so grateful that the Lord, and I am religious, the Lord has allowed me to experience this and grow a human being inside of me, and it's a beautiful moment. And so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in my journey though, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I know that there's a lot of little things that they don't tell you about pregnancy, and like, it's hard, and mentally and physically it is hard, but in the end it's such a beautiful thing. Like, you've accomplished it, and like, that's what they always tell me, is like, it might be difficult all the way up until, it might be difficult, it might be painful, you might have pains on the side, which like are like knots in your side of your stomachs, like you might get pains and all different stuff, but in the end, bringing that child home with you and giving birth to that like child is so amazing and beautiful. And so yeah, that's my experience so far, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was helpful for some of you guys who might see only the positive content on pregnancy and not seeing the realistic aspect of it. Whoop, that bird flew off. I hope that this was very helpful for y'all, and yeah, so I would just want to say thank you, and I will see you guys in another video. Comment down the videos down below and whatever you guys want to see, so that I have an idea on what to upload and to post, because this is a completely new channel, and so I'm coming from like a channel that is kind of like a different scenery. This is like my life now, and where I'm at now in my life is updating. And so yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys very soon. Yeah, see y'all soon.